All right. Welcome back. This is class five, finding the right team to build your natural building. Let's get started. What is the reality of finding a natural builder that is also a contractor? It is possible, but it depends on where you live. Most natural builders are free spirit, so they don't really want to be part of a system. So they may not be licensed or may not even want to get licensed, or may not even have enough experience to get licensed in terms of what the requirements are for being a contractor. So, with that all being with that being said, there are still natural builders that do have a contractor's license. You just have to find them and make sure that they're in your area. And if they're not, you're going to have to make that decision, uh, either by working with them and you educating yourself, or finding someone that can oversee them, maybe another builder that is licensed, and they specifically the natural builder specifically works on the natural finishes, the strabel, the natural plasters, the things that they know they have experience with, and you don't need a license for. Um, Natural building is still relatively a new industry. There are a lot of uh, places where you can learn how to do natural building, but there are not a lot of people doing it still in terms of in comparison to conventional building, that is. So it's going to take a little bit of legwork on your part and it's going to be challenging, but there are a lot of people who can help you, especially because natural builders don't mind traveling. And if you can provide them with a place to park their truck, pitch their tent, their bus, their RV, and then giving them more opportunity to continue to practice their craft and master their craft. And especially if you're going to be helping them or you're going to have subcontractors helping that person as well. All right, let's move on. What type of people are learning natural building? Now, this is information that I gathered because I run a school. So I run the Natural Living School. We've been doing it since 2013. We've had lots of people come through and apply, way more than that actually joined. So I have an application process. I have a vetting process that I go through. After the application, then there's a phone conversation and an interview. And so I really try to get a great understanding of each person that's coming to wanting to join us, to make sure that it's a fit for them and it's a fit for me. So these answers that I'm sharing with you here are just based on my experience. It does not by any means mean that this is what every natural builder is and what other people's experiences are. This is just based on my experience. So people that are looking to be a natural builder, they're usually tired of their job, or they're just got out of college, and they're wanting to follow their heart. The majority are not experienced builders. They are new to building in general. They saw pictures, videos, took some workshops, and fell in love with natural building. Some are purist, not wanting to use conventional materials or be part of a system. So there are a handful of people who just want to learn how to build as if they're building off grid or they're building on their own in the middle of the woods. So there are very specific schools for that they should join and go to. Um, Once they do, let's say they join us, they realize how much hard work it is, how challenging it is. And just to give you a perspective, I was thinking about this the other day. Let's just say, because I think there's been more than 100, but I kind of capped it at 100 people that came. I only know seven that are actually building, and a handful of them are actually doing natural building. A couple of them they're not. They're just doing conventional building and dreaming about the time or place when they get to do natural building. So that kind of gives you an understanding or perspective of how new this industry is, and it's challenging for a lot of natural builders to be able to kind of stick through it, because for one, you have to learn on the job at a lot of times. So you have to find someone that's willing to let you grow as you learn. So if you're not coming from a school, an establishment, or a place where you have time to practice your craft, then it's going to take time for you to practice your craft and to get good at it and to understand all the nuances of building, especially if you have zero building experience. So it's it's hard to find out builders that are can build you a new home from foundation to roofing to finishes. Um, but there are people who are doing it. So it is possible. So it's just a matter of finding the right person, finding the right fit for you, or finding the right program for you so that you can get the education that you need. Let's move on. The nature of natural builders. Again, this is just based on the information that I have. This is based on the people that have joined us, and also a little bit about my friends who are natural builders. So they want to do good for the world. They lead with their heart. They love to travel. They want to see the world. They want to use natural building as a way to travel and to learn to build. They want to start their own community or join an existing community. They come from a loving middle class family that can support them while they travel and find their calling, or that can help support them. Not always paying full time, but if they need their car breaks down, something happens, they have a parent that's willing or a family that's willing to help them, so they're not stranded. All right, moving on. How do people become natural builders? So there are a lot of places where people can go and learn natural building. When I started, there was maybe two or three places. When I started my school, which was 3 or 4 years after I started, after I found natural building, then there are probably maybe 10 to 20 places that we could have gone when I started school in 2013. And now there's probably hundreds of places where you can go and learn natural building and practice and work with people who are doing it. So it's really amazing how fast it's growing. It's really amazing all the beautiful opportunities and the amazing things people are doing out there. I mean, just look through Instagram, social media, hashtag natural building, and you'll see amazing things that people are doing. So it's a great time to be a natural builder. Um, but with that being said, not all of the places are teaching how to build to code. So if that's something that you're interested in knowing or having someone work with that knows how to build to code, then make sure that's a question that you ask. Are you building these structures to code? Is it engineered? Is it an architect drawing or a designer that's doing it? How many of these have been tested or have passed building codes or have been engineered? So that way you can get an idea of the experience level of the builder, of the team, of the school, and you can kind of make your decision based on that. Okay. How to be a natural builder yourself. So let's say that you want to be a natural builder, whether you're a homeowner or if you're an enthusiast and you're tired of your job or you just got out of school. So first thing that I would recommend is that you take a workshop. Find a school that focuses on what you want to learn and then check it out. Go there. If you want to learn natural building code, come to us. We can help you with that. If you want to learn bamboo building, maybe go to somewhere in Thailand, the bamboo school there. If you want to do just purist stuff, maybe check out Yonto. Um, there's lots of different places where you can go in terms of you want to learn different aspects. Rammed Earth, New Mexico area. There's just amazing things happening. Earthships. Yeah, so lots of opportunities. I'm sure you've probably already Googled it and you probably have a list. Hands-on training is probably the most important part that you need to get out of this process, because if you're trying to do this online and you're trying to learn online, I appreciate you listening to my class and following it, but please join us. Please come. Get your hands dirty, get in the mud. And if you don't want to, or if you can't, then work with a team or work with somebody in your area that's doing it so that you can take time during the week or when they're available or when they're working to go and give them a hand so you can get hands-on experience, see what it feels like. don't make a decision to change your job and change your career without actually doing it for a good amount of time. Um, so our experience since 2013, building to code, working with students, we have a lot to teach. We're trying to put as much resources as we can online so that you can kind of get this information. But I'm trying to do it all on my own, so it's kind of challenging. So be patient with me. But you can always join us. You can always call me. You can always email me. You can set a time for consultation, and we can guide you. I have lots of friends who are natural builders. I have lots of partners that can guide you to the right school, right places that you can go to that give you the experience that you are looking to get. And then you obviously, if you want to hire a team or use the experience builders that we have, that also is a possibility. How can homeowners learn natural building themselves? So I would, again, back to the last slide there, I would recommend going to workshops, joining programs that are existing near you or around your area, finding the teachers that are doing what you want to do. You can join us, the Natural Living School. You can take online classes, but again, just make sure that it's in hand on hand with workshops, and don't just do everything online. Um, and then most importantly, just go out and gain the experience firsthand before you undertake any natural building project. So I've talked a lot about the Natural Living School. So let's just say you want to hire us. Let's say you're not in California, you're outside of California. How can we help you? Well, we can help you with the design process. We can help you with working with the engineers. We can help you pulling the permits. You would be the owner builder. Um, uh, we can help you with all the different building phases. And then we can send students to you that have the experience that you need in terms of natural building. So ideally, you would hire a conventional builder to do your foundation, to do the framing, to do the roofing, rough plumbing, rough electrical with our guidance. And then we would send a team, or we would come out and do workshops for straw bales, for the leveling coat, for the plaster, for the finishes, for all the natural stuff that most conventional builders are not going to know and that you can't really sub out unless you have natural builders in your area. And then we can work with them, make sure that they're doing it right. We can guide them, and we can teach you so that you can be observant of the things that need to be happening so that everything is being done correctly. How can someone learn to be their own natural building contractor? So now let's just say you want to be your own contractor, or you want to be a contractor in general. Well, you can learn. We have a 4-year program where you can come in as an intern with zero experience, um, move up to apprenticeship program. Then you would move up to the journeyman program for about a year or so. Then you would be foreman in training, and then you would basically be a general in training. And then once you finish the 4-year program, you would have enough experience based on California regulations to take your contractor's license. So that's one step. The other step is just doing it yourself, building yourself, and then working with other builders who are doing it, tracking your hours, checking your state, making sure the local contracting board in most places they know and they can tell you what you need to get your contractor's license. So they have specific hours, what paperwork you need. So find that out first, and then start working towards those goals. Um, you should learn about the design. Ideally, it's important to understand the design. If you can learn the drawings, these are things that we teach. Learning how to work with engineers, learning how to pull permits, learning how to work with your county, learning how to work with local subcontractors, and then obviously tapping into the experience that we've created, or experience builders that are in your area, and tapping into their knowledge and their wisdom so they can help you through the process. How homeowners and natural living design and build team work together. So There's two companies. There's the Natural Living School that just focuses on education, and then we have a Natural Living Design and Build team that just focuses on building. The building aspect of it is you're paying basically us like a subcontractor or like a contractor, and the school is all educational. So that the workshops, the interns, the apprentices, the students that would build a house for you go through the school process where you are the homeowner, you are the general contractor, you're pulling the permits as a homeowner build. The Natural Living Design and Build team, they're basically like a construction company where we come in and do it all. Uh, we still do have the interns and apprentices come join us, but it's a limited opportunity, and it's only for when we need additional hands, when we're doing straw bills, when we're doing leveling coat, we're doing natural plasters. Everything else gets done with licensed contractors. So, hiring the Natural Living Design and Build team, what does that mean? The Natural Living Design team will work with the homeowners on the design and the blueprint. They will work with the engineers, the building departments, and the subcontractors. They will be part of the design consultants. The design consultant will work with the homeowner to pick out all their finishes. Um, they will be in charge of the all the building phases, and they will act as the general contractor. They will assume all liabilities. If there is a problem with the building, the liability lands on them for 10 years. So that's California standard for general contractors for the liability side. All right, let's move on here. Let's finish up the class. So, in conclusion, it's hard to find a natural builder that knows how to build a code. So make sure if that's something that you want to do, that's something that's required in your state and your county, that you vet them and make sure that they understand the process and know what they're doing. It's hard to find a natural builder that is also a contractor. So if you do have one of them, that's awesome. Use them. Highly recommend it. It's going to be worth your time and your money. They'll know the whole step in the process. So use them. If they're not a contractor, be cautious. Find a builder that can work with them. Contact us. We can consult with them and we can work with you. So if you want to become a builder yourself, join a school, find a location that can teach you what you need to know. You can join us at the Natural Living School, or you can find someone that's closer to your area that can teach you. But most importantly is make sure that they are going to teach you what you want to know. So if you want to learn how to build code, make sure they know how to do that. If you don't care about that, then great. Just find the school that works for you. If you want to learn about rammed earth, about earth chips, about bamboo, find a school that makes sense for you. If you do want to hire a builder, if you want to hire a natural living school, if you want to hire somebody, make sure that you do your homework. Make sure that the people you're hiring understands the process in your area, understands how to do what needs to get done, so that you can do everything smoothly and there's not a lot of hiccups. And ideally, you'll learn from that process. If you want to hire a professional construction team to do it yourself, with because you don't have the time to do it and you want to be more hands off, again, just vet them, make sure they understand the process, make sure they have the experience that's needed, and so that it's the least amount of headache for you. Because I can't express to you how often uh, people get arguments with their spouses um, in construction. New construction is incredibly stressful. There is 1,000 little decisions that need to be made on a daily basis. And if you don't have someone that's helping you through all those little details, and they're coming to you at the time the decisions need to be made, not a week ago or weeks ago, but at the time, it's very challenging. It's been a huge learning curve for me. Um, it's been a huge uh, understanding of how important it is to have these conversations ahead of time. And it's also important to make sure that the homeowners understand what their responsibility is, because not everything lands on the contractor. It's not the contractor's job to pick out the doorknobs, to pick out the sink that you want. Now, if you want to be fully hands off and you want to work with a designer, the designer will do all those things for you. They will pick out the sinks, they'll light fixtures, they'll pick out everything. They'll lay out exactly the closets, the doors, the doorknobs, the handles, the countertops, everything. But it's an added expense. And you just need to make sure you understand that process. And they'll work with you directly on that. But it's obviously very important to have someone that knows what they're doing, can communicate well, and could give you the opportunity to change your mind and to make the right decision so that it's not something that it's has to be done after it's already built. I can't tell you how many times or how frustrating it is as a builder when you come in, we're done, and then they don't like something and we have to rip it up and start over because they don't like it. It's challenging, but obviously it's your money, it's their time, and they're paying for it. So, but you want to avoid those as much as possible because those costs can add up quickly and can really send you over budget extremely fast. A lot of the change orders that we do, they're small, between $100 to $500. But if you have a change order, $100 to $500 two times a week, it adds up quick. You're looking at a $2,000 a month change order. And then if it takes $12,000, if it takes 9 months, I mean, it adds up quick. So, and not all of them are 500, some of them are 1,000. So it's just important to take time during the design process, to take time to pick your finishes, to take time while the drawings are being done, while the engineering is happening, to really sit down and think about the end in mind and find the things that you want so that when you do finally get the engineering uh, corrections back and you're ready to submit to the county, at that point you can decide, oh, this is too expensive because all my finishes are way more than I imagined. And let's stop. I have the drawings, I have it engineered. I'm going to pause until I get more money and then I can move forward. Otherwise, you get started, you figure out what you need halfway through the building, and then you realize you don't have enough money and you have to stop with a half built home. It's happened a lot. All right. Thank you again for joining us, so joining me, and appreciate your time. And I hope that you've been enjoying these classes. Um, this class has been a little bit more of telling you what we do and how we do it, but I hope it's helped. And I look forward to seeing you next class. Okay. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or a review. If you want to reach out to us, it's naturallivingschool.com. You can email me at info@naturallivingschool.com. Have a great day. See you next class.